going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phones and Drones. So I want to take a few minutes here to talk about the first impressions with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And a lot is new, but there is still a lot the same. A couple of the first big callouts is obviously just how big of a difference maker this action button is. I was thinking it was going to be more gimmicky and not as useful, but for somebody who does always slide that switch down in the past and leave it on silent, I've come to actually like what this brings to the table. So yes, you can still leave it by default as the mute or silent on-off switch, but there is a ton of other options that has been discussed, whether you want to go through a camera or do a Siri shortcut. It is capable of all that now. And obviously, the other elephant in the room here is USB Type-C, as you can see. Never thought we'd see this on an iPhone. It's here, and it does make everything so much easier to have one cable instead of having a lightning cable and a USB-C cable for different adapters. It's just something small, but definitely noteworthy, especially if you travel a lot or multi-carry devices. Now, one thing that you're going to notice right off the bat is just how much more pleasant this is in the hand with these slightly curved corners and the lighter weight thanks to that titanium frame. It is definitely much noticeable and much more appreciative to be able to hold in your hand and utilize as you go through your day. Aside from that, the new A17 Pro chip, whatever they want to move on from the Bionic chips to the Pro chips, it's smooth. Everything's been the same. We haven't really put it through any high gaming tests yet. We have seen what it's capable of as far as being able to output from a USB-C adapter to an HDMI cable, and you can actually play this right on other monitors or TVs, and it looks good for AAA titles that are going to be coming in the near future. Aside from that, the camera itself and that new Pro specific periscope lens, it's good. The 5x is a good number they landed on. I know a lot of people are upset they're not using the 10x that a lot of other manufacturers are, but they made this lens a lot slimmer and more compact and designed it in the most Apple-y way possible to be able to include it without doing everything other Android competitors are doing. Night photography has improved as well, or so they said. We haven't put that through the full paces yet, but photos in general in great daylight have never been bad on iPhones, and that remains true today, as long as you're using the 1, 2, or 5x zoom capabilities. If you go in between any of these, you're getting optical or digital zoom instead of optical, and it is throwing it all off and does look a little grainier than its Android counterparts or even last year's iPhone. So take that for what it's worth. Obviously, a couple of the other notable features on the camera updates have been that the new portrait mode photos can now be made without having to be in portrait mode. You'll get that little F for the aperture and be able to adjust it before or after you take the shot. Now again, first impressions only, definitely positive. It is definitely an iterative update, as we all expected at this point in time. I think all of the hype around the titanium frame actually is holding some weight, no pun intended, and making a difference for this year's devices. I just really want to see how well the battery is going to hold up. Apple, for once, did not even tote about battery life at all and just said it's on par with last year's iPhone 14 series devices, and which could be a little concerning considering just how bad the battery's degraded and how we personally, in less than a year of usage, were already down to 86%. They initiated some new battery modes to not let it charge above 80%. I am vehemently against that. What's the point of having a larger battery if you can't utilize the entire thing? That's pointless. You might as well knock 80% off the battery capacity and just software limit it at that point if that's what you're trying to do. But glad to see it. Some people might enjoy it. I am not a huge fan. That's going off for us. We'll use optimized charging and see if that helps, but that is a totally new setting as well in iOS 17 on the iPhone 15 series. You also do have a battery cycle count here as well, so you can now see much easier how many times the battery has been fully charged. So, all in all, without rambling anymore, definitely like it, definitely excited to see and put it through its paces once it begins learning my usage pattern, and we'll be doing a full review in the near future, so make sure to turn on the notifications for that, subscribe to the channel, and give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps us out. We greatly appreciate it. If there's anything you want to know specifically about the new iPhone 15 Pro Max, let us know. Comment down below, and we'll make a video on it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.